5.1 Introduction. Industry refers to an economic activity that is concerned with the production of goods, extraction of minerals, or the provision of services. Industrial development is the key to progress and development in the modern world. Today, the term industry is used to mean a productive activity in any sphere of life. In early days, craftsmen were the chief manufacturers of goods, and goods were produced in their houses. The Industrial Revolution started in Great Britain in late 18th century, brought in great changes in the field of manufacturing. Hand-operated tools gave way to power-driven machinery, which resulted in the mass production of goods. From England, Industrial Revolution spread to rest of Europe, North America and Japan. At the time of independence, India was not an industrialized country, but we have taken rapid strides since then. Need for industries in the world. Manufacturing industry became a key sector of production and labor in European and North American countries during the Industrial Revolution. This came through many successive rapid advances in technology, such as the production of steel and coal. Following the Industrial Revolution, possibly a third of the world's economic output are derived, that is, from manufacturing industries. Many developed countries and many developing or semi-developed countries like the People's Republic of China, India, etc. depend significantly on manufacturing industry. Industries, the country where they are located, and the economies of those countries are interlinked in a complex web of interdependence.
Types of industries. Industries are classified into several categories based on certain criteria. However, there are instances when these classifications fail to justify the criterion on which they are based. For the sake of our understanding, we classify industries on the basis of size, ownership, and raw materials. Classification based on size. The size of an industry depends on the number of people employed, the raw materials used, the capital invested, and the nature of goods produced. Based on size, the industries are divided into following categories. Cottage industry. It is a kind of household manufacturing unit. It employs people in small family setups using hereditary craftsmanship where ordinary tools are used to process raw materials. The raw material is locally obtained and the processed goods have a local market. Very small investment is needed to set up a cottage industry, and transport hardly plays any role in it. It helps to add value to primary products. It generates employment in villages and it preserves the ancient art and talent of village craftsmen. The main articles made in cottage industries include potteries, baskets, handlooms, ropes, shoes, fish nets, etc. It is still an important industry in most of the developing countries, including India. Small-scale industry. The use of power machinery, investment, and external labor for production sets apart the small-scale industry from cottage industry. It requires hired and skilled labor and small machines running with power. The production of goods increases and the goods are sold in local as well as in outside market. The products of small-scale industries include electronic goods, brassware, utensils, furniture, textile goods, perfumes, leather products, etc. They can develop according to the needs of an area and can help improve the standard of living. Large-scale industry. The scale of operations in terms of inputs and outputs demarcates large-scale industries from small-scale industries. These industries run with the help of large machines, a large workforce, and require a lot of investment. Mass production of goods in such industry require cheap and affordable transport to find distant markets. These industries usually make primary products which are used by other industries. Iron and steel, cement, oil, chemicals, aircrafts, and shipbuilding industries are the examples of large-scale industry. Classification based on ownership. On the basis of ownership of enterprise, industries can be classified into following categories. Public industry. Such industries are owned and managed by the government and its agencies. They are called public sector industries, as if the entire public or nation owns and invests in them. Bharat Heavy Electricals, Steel Authority of India, etc. are examples of public sector industries. Private sector. Private entrepreneurship, meaning resourceful individuals or group of individuals set up these industries with their own investment. All the profits earned by it belong to its owners and they have to bear the losses, if any. Reliance Industries, Tata Iron, and steel industry are some of the important industries in this category. Joint sector. The kind of enterprises are jointly owned and managed by government agencies and private firms. As they pool their resource together, both the partners share the advantages. Maruti Udyog Limited, Oil India Limited are some examples of this sector. Classification based on raw materials. Based on the raw materials used, industries can be classified into following groups. Agro-based industry. All such industries which derive their raw materials from agricultural sector or in which agricultural produce is processed to make a final product for use. Examples are sugar, oil, cotton, jute, and textile industries. Mineral-based industry. Such industries derive their raw materials through mining. Examples are iron and steel, aluminium and copper industries, etc. Pastoral-based industry. Such industries derive their raw materials from animals or animal products. Examples are leather goods, industry, dairy industry, etc. Forest-based industry. Such industries derive their raw materials from forests or use forest products for processing goods for use. Examples are furniture industry, paper industry, etc. Fact: BHEL is the largest engineering and manufacturing enterprise in India in the energy-related or infrastructure sector today. BHEL or BHEL was established more than 40 years ago, ushering in the indigenous heavy electrical equipment industry in India.
Factors related to establishment of an industry. Industries have to be located after a great deal of planning as it requires huge investment. Thus, a combination of several factors determines the location of an industry. Availability of raw material. It is the most important factor in deciding the location, specifically if the raw materials and finished goods are heavy or bulky or perishable in nature. For example, in iron and steel industry, iron and coal are both heavy materials. Therefore, steel plants are located near the iron ore and coal mines. Similarly, sugar industry is located near sugar producing area because if sugarcane is kept for a few days, it loses its sugar content. Labor. Industries require both skilled as well as unskilled labor along with technical personnel. Industries located in densely populated areas have no problems in accessing unskilled labor or untrained workers. But skillful labor is still a controlling factor for the location of industries. The textile mills in Ahmedabad are located in densely populated area, but the skilled labor or trained people are usually hired from an outside area. Power. It is a critical input in deciding the location of industries. Modern industries are largely dependent on power. Earlier industries were located near coal fields, but with the increasing use of water power, the industries are being located near water power stations. With mobile sources like oil and natural gas, power efficiency has improved in modern times. Electricity can be easily transported to longer distances. Nowadays, only those industries which require abundant electricity are located near the powerhouses. Transport. Location of industry becomes difficult in areas where means of transport are not developed. This is because industrialization requires raw materials to be taken to the site of production and the finished goods are to be taken to the market. All those areas which have the advantage of a good system of transport, roads, railways and waterways, they have developed industries. The northern plains of India have good roads and railways, and thus have main industrial towns. Capital. The establishment of an industry needs large amount of money. It is needed to purchase land, construct building, setting up machines, and to pay for labor. Capital may be not an important factor in deciding the location, but it plays its role in growth and diversification of industries. Banks and financial institutions provide loans at low rate of interest as industries provide impetus to the development of a region. Industries are usually located in those parts where there is an easy availability of capital. Market. Market is a must for growth and development of an industry. The demand of manufactured goods play a major role in the location of an industry. A good market should be accessible to the consumers and to the industry and reflect the demand for different kinds of products if the manufactured goods have to make a profit. For example, cotton cloth has a larger presence in the markets of hotter climate, whereas woolens do well in markets of colder places. Apart from these, water supply, climatic conditions, and government policies are other such factors which determine the location of industries.